What would you say is the most memorable occasion that happened here?
Well, for me, it was our daughter's wedding. So that was lovely in 2007.
Yeah.
And Father Walter, you probably didn't know him,
No.
but he married them. So that all went very well.
Father Walter's leaving. Father Walter was one of our most popular priests, and I think everybody was sad when he left.
I remember as well the farewell party for Father Walter, who was the kindest, nicest man you could imagine. And he was standing chatting to somebody, and I went over, waiting to speak to him. And without looking, he put his arm out and just pulled me into him like this rug. It was just so nice, he really was.
Yeah.
I always remember that.
Yeah. Father Walter's leaving was a huge big occasion. Very sad to see him go. But and also my wedding during COVID. We were the only wedding in the parish during COVID. So 2020.
So for me, probably it's a series of occasions. So I used to altar serve in a parish, and there was a lot of us. There was at least 10 altar servers. And we would altar serve, and then we would play football in the car park afterwards. And then once a year we would go up to Westminster Cathedral, and we would altar serve there. And then the priest at the time would take us out for Italian food afterwards, and we would come back. So we would always look forward to that.
I would say Canon Telford's funeral, because that was an absolutely immense occasion. All the priests from the diocese were here, and they occupied the entire church hall, and we, the parishioners, were next door, watching it on TV. That was that's a huge occasion, and the priests had to go to the convent down on Ham Common. There used to be an Anglican convent there, and get changed into their vestments, and then processed up from Ham Common to the church for the funeral, and that was a major event.
We had we were talking earlier about the other priest who was it that had a big thing about steam trains and
Father Clifton.
Father Michael Clifton. Yes, yeah. That was his hobby, was the steam trains.
Which traditions and activities have you most enjoyed at St Thomas Aquinas?
Parties. Parties have been great fun. And we were just saying that when Father Walter was here, it was all Irish music. Do you remember we used to have those lovely Irish evenings? It was great fun. Yeah, we all sang along. Everybody joined in. We had sheets, so we could join in with the songs.
Then we have the German community and their barbecues every summer. That was really enjoyable.
We love their food. Their cakes.
Because you would have a big marquee. I remember several times a big marquee out there.
Do you have any special parishioners or members of this parish that you particularly remember?
Yes, there's one that we all remember very, very fondly, and her anniversary is coming up soon, Jeanette Day, and her anniversary is on July the 9th. And we have a banner in the hall, I'm sure you all know, that she made. It's a quilted banner. She was very good at quilting. She was an excellent quilter. And we used to, I think, did they used to go this year at the Ham Fair? They usually put it on the Ham Fair stall, across the top of the Ham Fair stall. But she was lovely. She was the first person I met when I came here 20 years ago. I turned round to the person behind me and said, "Is this anybody's seat? Am I sitting in anybody's seat?" She said, "No, we don't do that sort of thing here."
Do you remember Peter Simpson? He was ordained a deacon here, and when we had the funeral, he was very active in helping to arrange that. So yes, and once again he moved away. He left to go up to Scotland, and then eventually retired to York.
He was a retired teacher, wasn't he?
Yes.
What I remember about Peter Simpson was, do you remember he used to lead the singing from the front? And when he got excited, his feet left the ground. He got so excited, and he would be, you know, he loved conducting, he loved music.
Levitated, yeah.
I remember a lady called Dorothy Clark, and she lived in Petersham, and she attended here, and she asked me, I got very friendly with her because we did the coffee together, we shared doing the coffee, and she sadly died quite young really, in 2001 I think it was. So that's who I remember very well.
And then we had Maria, who used to be in the kitchen doing the coffees for such a long time.
And the flowers.
And the flowers.
And she did a lot of parish.
A lot. And it's lovely to see her daughter here now.
Yeah.
It's nice.
The next generation.
The next generation.
She reinvented the pronunciation of the word tabernacle. It became tabernacle.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
no.
So I remember when I was very small, there was a man who would always welcome people when they came to the church called Jim Barrett.
Yes.
Lots of people remember him, and his grandson was here as well one day. But I remember my mum saying one of the reasons she came here was because he was always there and he was warm and welcoming, and he would give you, you know, what you needed for the mass as you came in, and had a big smile. And I think the other person is an altar server called Frederick, who altar served here for a very long time, probably 20 odd years. He was always here altar serving, and he'd altar serve for everybody, I think. So.
It was in 1985 that we became an independent parish, and the church was consecrated in 1987 with once again a big celebration here, and that was a very important event because that meant that we became a separate parish in our own right. And at that time we would have over 200 parishioners coming to Mass on Sundays. So it was a big parish, and we had Canon Davis here, who had been the parish priest since before I moved to Ham.
This church used to be a school before. Do you any of you know any people who used to go to the school?
Yeah, it's a bit before our time. You know the railings outside the church? That was left over from the days of it being a school. And I think, was it Father Robert Ellis backed his car into the railings. I'd like the bell tower to be working.
Of course.
It cost a fortune, doesn't it?
I know, it would be a benefit to the community, wouldn't it? I think people would love to hear the bells ringing on a Sunday.
Somebody would have to ring the bells.
What would you say is your number one highlight of the 40 years at St Thomas Aquinas?
Well, I've only been here 20 years, so I'm the youngest member, really. I think just the fact that I've met so many friends. I really have made friends who have been so supportive and so kind, and I really value that.
What would you say more? I think my highlights are the personal occasions. So my youngest daughter was baptised here by Canon Davis, and then the occasions of their first communions.
Like you said, Andy, personally for me, was getting married here. And the German community did the flowers outside the church. They decorated it for me because I taught some of the German community daughters. So for me it was our wedding.
So I think for me, probably very similar. Two of my cousins have been married here. My mother's funeral was here, and that was very special as well. And I think also going to Westminster Cathedral for the altar serving thing as well, which was always good fun, isn't it?
I think my daughter's wedding that was a very special day. And also my granddaughter's baptism.
It's a good parish, isn't it?